Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. That was a close call. Tankzars was just said he was going to count us in for the stream, and I was just thinking in the back of my head, I'm going to sneeze any second now, and it didn't happen, luckily. So I'm glad about that.
When you said it, I was really quick, like, rub my nose, it's itching.
I was just, you could just feel it coming, and I'm like, should I just say, like, can we just hold off for a second? Or I thought in the end, I'll judge it right. I'm not going to sneeze. It's not going to be embarrassing. But what could have happened was you guys would have seen just the first thing, rather than hello, would have been sneeze, and it would have been awful. But I've got some good luck today.
Camera lens.
I know, it would have been terrible. Welcome back, everybody. We've got the community update stream today. We got Tankzars in the background, and we got PAINGOD back with us here today. How are we doing?
I'm doing okay, but it's kind of been grumpy developer week.
We were just talking off stream. It sounds like it's been a bit of a tough week for you guys this week. So you've got my condolences. I had a nice day off yesterday, so I'm nice and refreshed today.
Yeah, the build's just been crashing, and it's been one problem after another, and we were going to have a super test session this weekend, and just got that up and found that was bad, and tried another play test on our mainline build today, and that was throwing errors, so just kind of aggravating. I want to test and play with new things, and the fun part of my job, other than 9 hours of meetings a day. But yes, double zeros crept out on the build every day this week.
If it rains, it pours. But at least we've got some good things to talk about today with the community. Got some cool notes here, and we got a sneaky little picture behind you there that we're going to be able to talk about as well. So I'm excited.
Oh, so Minto, since you're new to Illinois, you know that nice weather that we had Monday through Wednesday?
Yeah, I was loving it.
Yeah, that was summer. This morning, 43 and sideways rain.
Sideways rain. I know. I saw it this morning when I went to go outside and see if I had a delivery. I was wondering why it was so cold in this house. It went from like sweating to worse than Manchester.
Yeah, had the AC running one day and the furnace the next.
Oh dear, Illinois, you gotta love it. Oh dear. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run through a few of the talking points that we have prepared for you guys. Then we're going to show you a quick video for a minute. And while we're doing that in the background, we're going to be gathering up all your questions. For those of you who also would like to ask any questions, feel free to tag me, MintoVimto, in the chat there. And we will try and get through as many of them as possible. As Peg149 just tells us that it's red hot in the UK right now. Is it Scorchio? I'm very jealous.
What out? What did you say?
Scorchio. It's one of our slang things. Scorchio, okay. Red hot.
I have not heard one.
We speak a different language.
You spell things funny too.
We do. We spell them the way they're meant to be spelled. All right. What have we got on our list to talk about today?
Well, fixes. There's a lot of cosmetic little glitchy things that I'm not going to go into. Quality of life things, alignment, boxes, buttons not responding properly in the UI. But probably the big things is Tuesday, we released, what I talked about last week, reducing the XP requirement to elite to be just equal to the last unlock. So when you get the last unlock, you're eliting the tank. There's no more extra grind to get to elite. We also reduced the XP requirement between researching tanks when there's multiple tanks in a line to make that much less of a grind. Overall, that makes the grind for the tank shorter, and we're going to be monitoring the speed that people are going through that. As I mentioned to you guys, that was the quick fix to complaints about the LVP We're still looking over changes to the LVP system, but as I told you, that's multiple months of development to redo that whole system. So we wanted to lessen the pain and the grind as soon as we possibly could. So we did that.
Excellent.
And then fix the radio commands not showing up on the mini map, which was a huge pet peeve of mine, and I'm very, very glad that was fixed. Today we had just a quick update, a really small download this morning that fixed the dead tank icons hanging around looking lit, which was super annoying. Sorry about that, but that's fixed. And then there's different edge cases where you could be loading into a queue and it put you in a queue in the wrong mode. So, intending to go into PvP and ending up into, intending to go into co-op and ending up into multiplayer. There was like one last edge case of that, so we got that fixed.
Excellent. Yeah, I think players will be really happy, especially the dead tank one. I know we've seen that once or twice in the past now, and people weren't best pleased to see it come back, but I'm glad that we were able to get that one sorted out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's like that unwanted uncle that just randomly shows up, on every family event, something. You're like, will you go away and stop showing up here? Yeah, we've had that bug before.
I'm going to tell you, I could not say it on camera, but those of you in the UK, another UK, Peter Kay's version of talking about that crazy uncle. We'll talk about it off screen, but that's another thing that we can talk about with differences in how we describe those annoying aunts and uncles. But yeah, I'm glad that one's gone.
Other than that, we have next week on Tuesday. We got lots of feedback from you guys on the 30% increase in the silver urn in post-war. That's ending Monday. That operation, that quest, that challenge. But I'm happy to say to you that we're making that change under the hood and permanent. So you won't see the op anymore because we don't need to advertise anymore, because going forward, that extra 30% urn is just built into the urns. We're looking at increasing the urns in Era 2 and Era 3 as well. I don't know that that's going to make Tuesday, but it's something we are going to do. Again, test with an op, make sure we're not flooding the whole world with silver. You guys are happy. So that's the Era 2 and 3 are in progress.
Brilliant. So permanent 30% silver increase to post-war in the Cold War mode. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent stuff.
So it will no longer be a bonus. It'll just be part of the base urn.
Yep. Right. Part of the game. Good stuff. I know players will be definitely happy about that. I was just watching Goliath just before we went live today. He was playing some Cold War and was just absolutely making bank with that silver. So it's going to continue.
Yeah, it's the hard thing with balancing. You can't say, well, this player is really good, so you should earn less, right? So you have to have the urns for, the average or more casual players, knowing that your top players are gonna rake it in, And if they're spending that much time playing the game and learning to get that good, they deserve it, right? As far as I'm concerned.
Definitely.
I like big numbers in the PBRS. I like when it counts up really high.
Oh my god, yeah! It's you feel like. You feel epic when you start seeing it rolling up 100,000, 200,000. I had a great game. Seen in the chat as well that players are happy about that as well. Hella saying Cold War is awesome. Yeah, I agree. I'm still in Era 1 myself. Been playing a little bit in Era 2 with some of the premium tanks, but I really love that Era 1, and then eventually, when I get to Era 2, Era 3, you've got those beautiful looking Abrams to look forward to in Era 3 as well. So I'm very excited.
I've been playing the Rise most of the week.
The Rise is fun, yeah. So I picked that up this week, and I'd say that's my favorite out of the two that we released recently. A lot of fun.
Oh, I have a fun development story for you.
I love fun development stories.
So for when you license stuff, so we released the Braddock Commander on Tuesday, which has been really popular. I'm amazed how many people I've seen with it. when you do, you have to get everything approved, right? So we do a sketch first of what we'll make the character look at, and they're like, okay. And then we do the modeling first, and then they say, okay, change this, change that. And then we do the texturing on it, and they're like, change this, change that. And then we do the animations, and they say, change this, change that. So we did all that, and we had an animation that got disproved because it wasn't proper for the character. And this happens. So, that's their job to manage their IP and everything. So we're like, okay, yeah, pull it out. And we thought we had to pull it out. And then the first day he was out, someone on I think it was Twitter, posted a short video of the animation that was not supposed to be there. And there was like something like a 1 in, I don't know, 100 chance to get it to play, depending on what you did. And we're like, but we took that out. And, I think it was Max Chaos that probably spent a couple hours trying to repro it until he finally got it to happen, and we could figure out why it happened. And so that had to come out of the game. Apologies. It's a legal thing, licensing thing. It was just
yeah. So that one of my ambassadors, one of my top ambassadors, West Wheezy, found that. So West Wheezy, one of the very few people that will ever see that. You lucky person.
Is he the one that put it on Twitch?
Yes. Okay. On Twitter, yeah.
Him. The animation's gone. Not
it's
me.
all your fault.
No, it's our fault. It got left in there. I guess the salute was a last minute replacement. I asked that we find something else cool and get it approved. Sad when that much work too. That was a complex animation done by hand. When that much work, it gets done and comes out good, and you have to take it out. So
I'm sure the work will be used in the future. We definitely should get some kind of like Karate Commander or something.
Yes, we can reuse the animation on a non-licensed character, so that animation will not go to waste. You should remember to file a ticket to make sure that happens.
Yes.
In World War II news, it turns out it was supposed to get caught before it went out, but the KB4 KTTS had the wrong radio. It only had like 360 meter range. So on Tuesday, that's getting updated, and we gave it the top radio of the Tech Tree KB4, the R13 with a 730 meter range. So quite an upgrade in its radio range. So look forward to that coming on Tuesday. And then also for World War II on Tuesday, there's a new premium tank. Get out of the way. Jump out of the
Disappearing Pain God.
Anybody that can guess what that is, the first person that guesses what that is gets it free from Mintos.
All right, I'm looking. Who's gonna guess? I'm watching the chat.
Ta-da! I'm back.
It's not the Bone Shaker. All right, you got it. Ryan Lum 94. Can you message me, Ryan, with your gamer tag, and I'll get that credited to you on Tuesday.
So yeah, that's the TS5. It's a Tier 8 US tank destroyer. So look to that coming to your Tech Tree store on Tuesday.
Sounds good. We've got a little video that we can play for the TS5 as well.
It is a developer video, which means it's the most boring video in the world. But if you love tanks, it tells you what you need to know.
There we go.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay, hopefully you guys like that and were able to grab as many screenshots as you can. For those of you in the chat with the keen eye, you are right. It's not a new tank per se. It's I always enjoy the more kind of as a personal experience anyway. I enjoy more of the historically inspired looking tanks. So in that aspect, it is new. And I will admit I never actually played the Bone Shaker. It was too crazy looking for me. I know people liked it, but I have played the TS5 as I was testing it this week, and you've got all of the same characteristics of the Bone Shaker there, just with a little bit of historical flavor for those of you that like that. And I did like it. This one's going to be going into my rotation, definitely. It's a good tonk, as Goliath Games says.
Other than that, we're kind of working on the same thing. Well, I haven't got to work on much with the actual build, adding more stats to the detailed stat page, getting that efficiency tab into PBRS. So that's moving along, showing the progress on your marks of excellence.
Yeah.
I know it was discussing exactly how and do we want it to show after 3 marks, and yes, we want it to show after 3 marks. I don't know when that's going in exactly, but making progress on that, making progress on improving the entire interface with commanders and assigning skills to them, assigning them to tanks and being able to track where they are. So that's in progress. It's starting to show up on the build, and I was playing with it today, and I found that when you assigned a skill, it was jumping back to the first skill after you assign a skill to a slot. So if you make your way through like I do and assigning, commander, I'm like, oh, this is really irritating. That has to be fixed. So we got a bug filed for that. But that's making good progress. Everything we got planned for the next version is making good progress. Super Test was going to see it for the first time this weekend, but as I said, the build's broken. Which is hugely disappointing, but we'll get it up and fixed for them next week, so they can start looking at everything and giving us feedback. There's some really unique content in there that I think players are going to love quite a bit. So I can't wait to start seeing that feedback from the Super Test of the community creators. The only dragback of adding the community creators to the Super Test, Liam, is the sheer number of comments I have to read through after every test.
So they're very thorough, the community super testers.
The super testers are always thorough, but it more than doubled the number of comments, if not 3 times the number of comments that.
Wow, guys!
And for those of you that aren't part of the program, there's a survey for everything that they test, and then that turns into a ticket with all the responses. So when there's a lot of new stuff, that means Max Chaos is writing tickets for like an entire day, and that's all coming into my inbox, and I got to read through all that, and then I pull their balance suggestions. I read those over, consider them, make a suggestion, send that off to design. If there's bug reports, make sure that gets off to UI. So it's like when the U.S. Post Office forgets to deliver your mail for a month and then brings it all in one day.
They're saving it up for you. Oh dear. Cool. So yeah, I've just been looking through. I think that's everything that we've got on our list to talk about.
I have my notes today.
Excellent. So we'll be able to go through a few questions now. One of the first questions I saw was players love hearing about bug fixes and stuff like that. There's with us fixing the dead tank bug today. Something else that's on the players' minds is I'll try and describe this one, where your gun raises when you're next to some kind of cover. That's something which I believe the team's been working on. Do we have any updates on the progress of that one being fixed by any chance?
The update is it's marked high priority, fix ASAP. There's an engineer dedicated to doing nothing but fixing that. He's unraveling the bits all of that aiming and reticle code is very, very complex, and there's a lot of it. So he's unraveling it, finding a couple other bugs that are in that code and fixing those as he goes along. But yes, it's a very high priority to get that fixed as soon as possible. I hear you guys loud and clear on that.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of how I've been talking about it as well. If it was simple, it definitely would have been fixed by now, and we're definitely not ignoring it. And it is definitely annoying when it happens in games. So I feel you guys when you're trying to side scrape, and you're about to get a good shot off, and you have to maybe move a little bit, and it just goes. Whoop. It's really annoying. So it's just a little bit complicated. So hopefully we'll get that sorted out soon.
There was some shots taken for the portal for articles, whatever, and they sent them by, and Lady Obscura, I and somebody else, we check for accuracy or make sure it's got the right scan or whatever on it. And Lady Obscura was telling me today she caught like all the screenshots that were sent over. The gun was sitting up in there like this, and she was like, "Yeah, let's not use those screenshots because that's a real source of right now." I'm like, "Yeah, you are correct. That would be bad. Let's not use this."
I know it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, people who've served in the military and stuff, I believe it is a part of safety when you're in base to keep your gun pointed upwards. But yeah, I'm not trying to defend the bug or anything, but safety first, maybe.
Well, evidently it turns out the bug's always been with us, but much more minor, and some fix somewhere else caused it to become much more drastic. Which is what happens when you have a giant code base that's been around for 8 years that was built on a game that was built years before that.
Yes. All right. I saw a question from Lady Obscura just now, and I'm just like scrolling to see if I can find it now. There we go. Lady Obscura is asking, because we've got the TS5 being released on Tuesday. Obviously, that's one of the reskins from one of the Hot Wheels tanks, but one of them that hasn't been released in its normal state is the E75 TS. Is that something that we're perhaps planning on releasing in the future? I know that's a hard question to answer. I don't want you to get in trouble.
I'm not really supposed to tell you that it's June 15th, Minto, but just keep that between you. Okay. So yeah, everybody else, it's coming soon. Liam, it's June 15th.
All right. Nobody heard that, so we're good. All right. Noodle 10, any news on the spec mode? I assume you mean Spectator HUD. I'm actually just I've got together some extra feedback from the competitive players, and I'm going to send that on ASAP. It's still with me at the moment. I'm going to pass it on by the end of the day to PAINGOD here. So it's going to be some more tickets coming. I'm sorry. Not too many more, though.
I think there's still work in progress. We were doing like 3 phases on that. I'll check back and see what the progress on phase 3 is as well. So don't be forgetting. I'll update you next week.
Excellent stuff. Thank you. All right. Are we able to?
Did you hear back? We added multi-base assault to all of the maps in custom games for the competitive players because that was a request. Did all work out good for them?
So this is something typical that I've realized with the community. If I hear nothing, generally they're very happy with it. So I've heard nothing.
Yeah, nobody calls customer service when they're happy. Like, my TV's working great. I don't call Best Buy and thank them for my TV.
It's true.
No, it doesn't work right.
We're all guilty of that, definitely. What else have we got here? A question I saw in the community was we adjusted the resolution for PS4 Pro in the notes on Tuesday. Do we have any more detail on exactly what that adjustment was, or was it just to basically help with its performance because it was having some performance issues?
Yeah, some on the PS4 Pro only. Some players, when we put the adaptive resolution in, said it was over making their fans run really, really hot and shutting down their PlayStations. So that was one fix to address that. We heard that it fixed it for some users, but not for all. So we're working on another fix to make that even better. There's a case where original Xbox One X's,
Yeah.
the GPUs could overheat too, and I think there's a fix going out for that on Tuesday as well. I think it's in testing right now to verify, because we finally found one that we could repro it on reliably, and it only happened when there was lots of action going on and you were in sniper cam. That always happens in our game anyways. But on certain the base Xbox One X hardware. So that fix should go out Tuesday, and we'll hear from the community, the people that were reporting if it's happening to them anymore. But that's one of the lucky ones where we found one that did it, and it made it a lot easier for us to fix where the PS4
Yeah, definitely.
we never found, out of all of our PS4 Pro retail dev and test kits, we never found one we could repro that on.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, that's a brilliant way of walking all of you guys through kind of the process with how it goes with bugs. We get a lot of bug reports from the community, and so we know what's going on with them. The team has to reproduce that bug. Sometimes it can be really difficult to do, and sometimes, like PAINGOD just said, it just falls in our lap, and we're able to do it quite quickly. Malky 1981 says the Xbox One S fan goes nuts. Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, like PAINGOD just said, hopefully on next week, if it gets through testing and things, then hopefully that should be able to help with that. Cool. Keep your questions coming. I don't have Goliath Games TV wants bobbleheads. I don't know if PAINGOD could help with that one, but we can definitely talk about it. I had a meeting with my CCs a couple of weeks ago now, and we were talking about all sorts, and we were talking about some merch ideas. So I'll definitely pass that on to the relevant team that can help with that, Goliath.
Does someone own the patent to that? Do you have to license the right to do a bobblehead, or can just anybody do bobbleheads?
I don't know. I would. If you guys want bobbleheads with me, knock yourselves out. Put one in my own car. I've never had a bobblehead, actually. All right.
I have some questions coming through from Lady Aspira.
She's using the alternate route.
Yeah, we created a loophole. People are asking about any new features for clans. We are currently working on and designing a way to see clans, how they rank against each other. I don't have any data on it yet, because we're talking about what formulas do we use, how do we display that, do you search it? So we are working on a way for clans to compare their performance against other clans. But when I know more, like a target, when we're planning on it being released, I'll let you guys know, because I know you've been asking for more clan features.
Yeah, definitely. I always guaranteed I have a message every day from someone from the competitive community or somebody in a clan. So that's really good news that we got something going on with that. But early stages so far. I always like to give you a shout out, Great Graham. You're always a nice guy asking questions about the competitive community. So I hope you're doing good.
Another one. Will you bring back the ability to change crew voices? And then can we have fully customizable 2D commanders back? It's all in discussion. It's something that I do want to bring back. It's not top of mind right now with all the other things going on.
Yeah.
But it is something in the queue to look at and evaluate. And hopefully, find a really good interface that we say, well, if you can do this for 2D commanders, why not 3D commanders, and make a similar interface for both to allow you to do all that. So that it is on the list. It just isn't near the top right now, so I don't have a date for you or anything.
Good stuff. All right. Seeing some questions about Italian heavies and mercenaries. We've talked about them a few times over the last few streams. Going to be really, really soon for not mercenary contracts, but a mercenary. I think we used the phrase op, so keep an eye out for that real soon. And Italian heavies, we're nearly there now, I think, but we just got a little bit more to wait with that. We'll be finding out a little bit more about those Italian heavies over the coming weeks. I've been planning some stuff in the background to show some stuff up for you guys, so we're nearly there now, and we'll be able to not just talk about it, but show you.
Somebody else asked if they had purchased crew customization vouchers prior and now they can't use it. Is there a solution? A couple parts of that. One, we made sure to give a lot of notice, but some players weren't around at that time. Maybe they had gone off played another game or whatever. We were in a pandemic. And when we looked at the stats, the vast majority of crew vouchers were ones given away. But if you had purchased some and you weren't around when the notice was given, please reach out to customer service. I'm sure there's some way that we can help you. I don't know if their tool will allow them to make the customization change for you or what, but please reach out to customer service if you never got that notice and you had purchased some. I don't want anybody's purchases to go in vain.
Yeah, and if for whatever reason you guys you're not able to like find where to reach customer service or anything like that, feel free to message me on anything on here, on Discord, the forums, on Twitter. You can reach out to either the official Twitter and you can speak to somebody else, or you can message me at Minto_Vimto on there as well, even on Reddit as well, if you need help trying to find anything, or any of the ambassadors. I always like to give the ambassadors a good plug because, if you can't find me and you need some help, definitely seek out one of the ambassadors or even a contributor. They're always able to help you guys with little things like that. Okay. Scrolling through for some more questions here. Just a Cone asks, is the tank list at the top in the game bugged, or was that an intended change? I think that was a bug, if I know exactly what you're talking about, where it kind of swapped around. That's how I understood it anyway.
Which one's that? I'm sorry.
So at the top of the screen, I think I was off yesterday, so I lost a day.
The team competition bar?
Yeah, they like swapped around. I think there's tickets on it, but I need to double check. So I can circle back around with you, just a Cohen, and get a 100% answer on that for you.
Yeah, will you if you find that, will you link it to me so I understand what it is?
Shall do.
I had something. Keep finding questions because I had something one of our developers wanted me to ask, and it's been in my mail, but my mail's been overflowing.
Yeah.
This week. I'm trying to remember what he wanted. I know what the subject was, but I'm trying to find how he wanted me to ask.
One question I have here, you might be able to answer off the top of your head, is would we ever consider introducing double barrel tanks into World of Tanks Modern Armor?
I would think we're considering late summer, early fall.
Interesting.
If I remember correctly.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm still looking for this. I have a ticket, but I thought it was asked in a different.
What's the Lady Obscura? What's the Ratte? Oh, it's probably another German word, isn't it? I just can't pronounce them. Ratte? Is that from PC? I'm not familiar with that one. I probably just made a fool of myself. Goliath says, "Pain God's finger of doom."
I don't know why they put the camera in the hinge of this laptop.
He's balancing you, Goliath. He's finding your account right now. Get banned, mate.
Yeah, I actually remembered this request earlier today while I was in a meeting. I'm like, I got to make sure I look that up before the stream today, so I can do, ask what my developer wanted, and then listening to the meeting and trying to test broken builds, I totally spaced it.
I can always, I can make if needed, I can ask the community on Discord or whatnot as well, if needed.
I think he wanted me to do a poll. Okay, he gave me a little more of a hint.
DG Darkness, you did miss a few things. I'll run through it while Pain God's looking for some information for us. So on Tuesday, we reduced the XP requirements from elite tanks to be the last unlocked. We've reduced the requirement between research and tanks as part of the adjustments to making the linear vehicle progression a little bit easier for you guys. The overall grind with that now should be shorter, but we're going to keep monitoring it to see if we need to make any further changes. Radio commands should now show up on the minimap. Going into today, we fixed the dead tank icon. That's showing us fixed today, and so hopefully you guys shouldn't see that anymore. We might see it again in the future. Who knows? It's like an annoying aunt or an uncle. Hopefully not, but we never know. There was also a bug with loading into the wrong queue that was fixed as well. Going into next week in Cold War, the silver urn in post-war is going to be permanent, and we're looking at other ways of adjusting the silver urn in the other eras as well. There's a overheating issue with the Xbox One X that we're looking at a possible fix for. We adjusted the radio for the KV4 KTTS. It's now got the top Tech Tree KV4 radio, the R113, which is 170 meters radius rather than 360 meters, which is quite a large jump. And we got the a new tank destroyer coming out on Tuesday, the TS5 Tier 8 USA tank destroyer, which is the historically authentic version of the Bone Shaker. So enjoy. Do we have any joy there, Pain God?
Yeah, the full thing is too complex for me to do on this stream, so we'll have to put something up.
Okay.
But the question was around marks of excellence, which players are very rightfully so very, very passionate about. And this particular developer is an engineer and a very skilled World of Tanks modern armor player from years and years ago, more battles than I can count. So he was looking at the formula and went, this formula could probably be improved. Should we tweak them to be, a little bit easier to understand how you get them? Maybe a little bit easier for you to get them. I couldn't even explain the way the formula is, but the formula kind of makes it a little bit more difficult than I think was intended. And then, or is it something we should change so that anybody that really tries could, eventually get them? Or should we combine? There was the idea of combining marks of excellence and the best average marks, and having them on the barrel so you could see your progress, on the barrel as you were moving your way up. And we've been talking, about changes and improvements, and there's, like anything, just like you all, the community, there's people like, yes, I get so frustrated when I can't earn them. I would love this change. And then there's people like, it took me so long to earn it. I would never ever want this system changed. And we're like, and I know that marks of excellence are like almost like a sacred badge of honor. So it's going. We could improve it, but should we touch it? Because I've learned in my career, and especially over the last year, some things are good enough the way they are, and just don't touch them. So
yeah,
we kind of have that camp. Do we make them easier? Do we combine them? Do we just like what players' thoughts are? So we can get together like a little better description of what the page in front of me is all kinds of math. Which is why I'm not a programmer, because my brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think just picking a couple of words out of what you said there is making it easier to understand. So tracking progress with the marks of excellence would be definitely an upgrade on that. From what I can see from the community, I know we've talked 3 times about Goliath Games TV to now as well, but he's always said it would be a really good feature for us to be able to show you where you are in terms of achieving your marks of excellence. So I imagine
we're definitely adding that, but it's just like the whole kind of system is is super complex, and from what I understand, the formula is a little bit against the average or slightly above average player to get them. So there's all kinds of things that we've done that are mentioned here, like doing a rolling average, so that you don't actually go backwards in your progress. One of those things is if you have bad games, you are slipping backwards.
It's rough.
And I always know when I see progress bars go backwards, so we're going to put a progress bar in for you guys. And I know if I get into a match and I see a progress bar go backwards, I get sad. Right? That's why I like the new PBRS where the bars go up and they keep going up, keeps going up. I'm like, this should be like, playing, some mobile games or in the casino, just, bells and whistles and you did great. This is your third best match ever. I really love that kind of celebration stuff. Because I play by myself and I have nobody else to pat myself on my back, but video games and my dog after I feed him.
He always loves you.
Well, let us. Don't touch them. Leave them the way they are. Or hey, it might be good to look at improvements in the system.
Kind of get in from the chat. Maybe don't. Just seeing in the chat that it works fine as it is. They just want to know where their progress is, but we can definitely look at doing a poll for that or something like that for sure.
Yeah, Late Obscura just gave me 6 quotes that are all on the "do not touch it."
And these guys say we don't listen to you. Yeah, we got you guys. Put it down, says Saint Ace 101.
What was that?
Put it down. All right, guys. Well, some great chats with you guys again. I love coming here with the community. It gets us up to speed with how you're feeling. We're able to talk to you and answer your questions. Expect something on MOEs coming really soon, perhaps on Discord and the forums in terms of a poll. We'll work on getting that out for you guys next week. In the meantime, I'm going to, as soon as we finish up here, I'm going to type up like minutes of what we spoke about. I do this every week.
Uh-oh.
Lost my camera slightly there. Those of you... hopefully we're back now. It was actually the bunny just underneath there messing around. It's very dangerous, actually. Keep an eye out for the notes that I put up every week and put them on the forums. And then for you guys who won, the TS5, expect that in your account by from Tuesday. I will allow up to 3 days, so by the end of the week next week we should be able to get that for you guys. Other than that, I think that's everything I have to talk about. We better get out of here before my technology completely fails.
Yeah, I gotta go. What's my next meeting here? Usable equipment. I wonder what that is. Well, I'll find out and maybe let you all know next week.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you again for Tank Czars coming here and making sure everything runs smoothly for us. And thank you, PainGod, for coming and spending Friday with the community again. And I hope you have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. I hope you and everyone else does. I will see you on the battlefield in my rise.
Hey. So are you in the Wargame West clan by any chance?
One of my gamer tags is usually when I'm playing.
You do what I do. You have a public account and a private account.
Yeah, well, I also my public account is also my non-cheating account, right? Because I have other accounts that I test with.
Yeah.
So I get tanks dripped to me, gold dripped to me, so I can just jump on the live game and test stuff. Yeah. And so I don't play those for stats, and some of them I'm in. One of them's in that clan. The other one I think even says WGW in front of my gamer tag. But when I'm playing for real, I don't want anybody to know who I am. Just because
no,
really quick, and I care about my stats very, very much.
Yeah, definitely. I have guilty pleasures. I play obviously World Tanks Modern Armor all the time, but I like a cheeky break, play something, a guilty pleasure, and I don't want you guys to see that. All right, guys.
Yeah, if anybody saw my test account, they'd be like, "Oh my God, his stats are freaking horrible!" Because I use that to I have to test this tank, or I have to look for this on this map. So I'm not playing for real. So my stats suck on those.
And our players like to see that we're good at the game.
Maybe I can screenshot my stats without my gamer.
There we go.
I don't know. I have to see it. I have to see what shape they're in.
Oh, we'll do a new initiative, one-on-one PainGod. All right. So yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend. Coming up this weekend. So as always, thank you out there for all of our veterans, non-combat veterans, for being out there and serving, protecting us, and thank you as well for the extra day off, because we all really appreciate it. So we've got a bunch of active service and ex-service in our volunteer programs. I have all the time in the world for you guys. I love you. I wish I could do your job, but I was nowhere near brave enough to do what you guys do. So massive props to you guys. Massive respect, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for serving your country, whatever country that may have been. You do yourself and your fellow citizens a great honor.
Absolutely. Way braver than me. I could never do it. You guys are so admirable. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And so we got no stream on Monday because we're off for Memorial Day. So we will see you guys back next Friday for another community update with PainGod and Minto. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.